We are here, which is on the multi-gauge raised track at ADMES. And this is where I'm going to show you the programming that we've done of the units. And then later on in the video, we're going to move up to the actual junction, which is this junction here, Upping Holt. And then we're going to see the actual use of the system with live trains running. So let's go back here. And these are the two aspects we're going to be using in this demonstration of the ESS system. So I'm going to turn them on. Now, I'm assuming here that you've seen the video on programming state tables. If you haven't, go back to that video now and give it a watch, because then what I'm going to go through here will make a lot more sense to you. When you turn the units on, they both start in state 0, and state 0 is a red on the main and the branch line. It just so happens that in the setup we're going to do today, which one's main and which one's branch doesn't matter, because they both do exactly the same thing. What they do is they show reds. I'll just let that train go. This is someone using the little racetrack here. Beautiful engine. So they both show reds in what we're going to call the idle state. Then if a train comes up to either the main line or the branch line, it is going to make sure the other one then stays at red, and it is going to show a green. If a train then comes up to the other route, the one that's showing red, it will flag that event, but it will not do a state transition. The next thing that happens is the train will go through, the one that's got the green will go through, and as soon as it's past the aspect, that aspect will then show red. And that is obviously correct, and it stops other trains coming up behind because the junction is now in use. The train will then proceed through the junction, and we'll show you this all live in a second at Upping Holt. And once it's cleared the junction, it will reset to state 0. State 0 with the flag set, which this one will be because the train has triggered the flag, will then immediately trigger and show green. And the logic from then on is exactly the same as with the branch line. Cool, that was quite a walk. So here we are at Upping Holt. Peter.
Hello there.
And you know me, Keith. And we're now going to set ESS up at this junction. So we brought two aspect nodes with us, the ASP222s, and we're now going to place the aspect nodes. We think they're in the right place now. So this one is just before the junction. What do you think, Peter?
Yes, I think that's about right.
Yeah.
So the junction's just up there, and we'll put a sensor beyond the junction for detecting trains leaving the section.
Perfect. And this is going to be the branch line signal again.
Branch line comes in from round the corner.
So that's probably good. Okay, so let's set up the sensors. The way they're programmed, sensor 1 of each unit is the one before the aspect. So do you want to do that one, Peter?
I'll do this one. Yes, so sensor 1 is up there.
Sensor 1 is before the aspect.
And sensor 2...
Now we might... Oh no. Are we going to use extension leads or...?
We will need to get the extension leads out at some point. But for this, we can probably just get away with...
Yes. So let's plug this one into Sense 1, and they just clip on the track like this. There's already a little dugout here that Peter's done, so we'll just stick that on the track there. Actually, I can't find the dugout.
It's a bit...
Oh, I found it. I found a dugout. There we go. So I've dug it out with my fingers, and now we're going to stick the sensor on.
That sensor...
Just there, and that's adhered to the track with the magnet.
That's sensor 2.
It's just below.
For the one...
So sensor 2's after.
Yeah, you need to bring your signal just a bit further forward.
Okay. Let's put that one just
So
about there.
as the train passes, it detects that.
Yes. And no.
And
So
the other
this one, which is sensor 2.
sensor 1 needs to be well back to detect the train approaching.
So we'll need an extension lead. I think we'll need 2, won't we? 1 each.
Yes.
So here is sensor 2, and that's going to be just after the aspect just here. So when a train's gone through, that will sense that. So let me turn this one on. And it obviously defaults to state 0.
So I'll just switch on as well.
Yeah.
And this second sensor needs to be further down this way, but we'll put it here for the moment.
Shall we go to the signal box and get a couple of extension leads?
Yes, we can, because I've got a sensor hole just up there.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
For this demonstration, we don't need
You're right.
too far away.
Okay, so what we need now is the third aspect, which is in the signal box. So we're now going to run and get that. Right, so I've got the third aspect out of the signal box. And this one is going to go past the junction. So this is telling the system when a train has cleared the junction. So I think, put it about here. Obviously the aspect is meaningless, so we'll either turn it away, or we might even use it as a block indicator to show the next block is clear, just for fun. We might do that. So at the moment, this is the same aspect number as one of the others, so we're going to change that. So let me just set it to aspect node number 9 and sense node number 41, so it's out of the way. And the only programming it needs, just exit out of that, the only programming it needs is to set aspect 1, which is the main line, to state 0 when a train's cleared the junction, and that will reset the sequence. So I will do that now. So Peter just went back and got some extension leads. You can extend any of the sensors, any distance really. You can chain these as long as you like. I think each one of these is about, what, 3 metres, is it, Peter?
Yeah, it's about 3
So
metres.
we're going to extend...
I will be making longer ones.
Yeah. So we're going to extend the before aspect one with this. So we'll do that now.
In theory, at some point, we should be able to have these as remote sensors and not have the cable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we are designing some wireless remote sensors. So once we've got those working, there'll be no need for these cables at all. In fact, the whole thing then will be totally wireless, which is...
And they'll just have a local battery, a little...
Yeah.
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 Because these boxes are capable of taking in 2 remote sensors.
Absolutely right, yes.
Yeah.
So once we've designed those and got those running, it should make it completely wireless. So
Here we are, here's the hole. Just clip that on to the track.
oh, you're the mechanics man, Peter. I couldn't work out how to get this to be higher because it's a bit low. Well, I couldn't. I undid the nut, but I couldn't do the other bit. So.
It won't. It actually won't matter.
Well, a train did go past. It didn't.
Did this one not work?
No.
Well, that's probably why. We've got another one there.
We've got another one here, so we'll use this one.
This one needs digging in just a little more. Yes, I can fix that.
Okay.
That's,
Right, so this is extended. All the connectors, by the way, are completely waterproof, so you don't need to worry about rain or whatever. Now, there should be a hole here from last time. So there it is, look at that. So I'm going to move this slightly forward. And hopefully this will now reach.
yeah, I'm looking into finding slightly smaller, shorter sensors
Yeah.
because they are available.
So here's the hole. So hopefully now this will clip.
That should just clip
there.
under there. Doesn't matter if it's at a slight angle
Well, there we go then. Right.
for what we're doing. Yeah. Good.
I programmed that end one to send number 1 to state 0, so this should be it.
Okay, well, we need to switch on.
Let's turn on and see what happens. So turning them on, they should all initiate to state 0.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've got a red.
I need a sensor for this one.
That one on?
No, I need a sensor for it.
Oh, you need a sensor. Okay. There is a couple of sensors.
We may have covered the sensors before, but just in case you're new to this, they're inductive sensors, so they sense the metal of the train wheel within about, what is it, Peter? Centimetre or so?
It's about about 5 millimeters. So they need to be close to the wheel.
Yeah. I'd say the design that Peter did here, which is a 3D printed sort of frame, allows you to adjust the sensor up and down.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, lovely.
It's possible that we could actually, in the long term, install the sensor in the track, which is what has been done on other parts of this track on the old signalling system.
So this one here,
But for our experimental version,
we're not.
it was here, I think, Keith.
Oh, okay. So let me just plug that in. Move this just here. I've turned all aspects off, by the way, as well on this.
Okay.
So you'll never
So
show
the
me.
unit is on.
Yes, I think so.
Is it on? No, it's
I'll
not
turn
on
it.
at the moment. Yes, it is on.
It is on. Right.
Yeah. Do you want to just wave a thing over it, just check it's working?
Yep. Right.
Bit of metal.
What have I got?
Car key.
I must have something, well. Amazing. You try and find.
Do I?
Nice. Let's just check with that on.
Yep, I'm getting a signal on the board showing the sensor's working.
Good.
So that's fine.
Okay.
And that will have just sent those back to 0.
Just send them back to 0. So should we give this a go? Let's give this a go, shall we? This is the bit that, yeah, we haven't tried this. So this is,
We've just placed them out without actually trying.
this really is live. So a train comes up the main line and triggers that. So he's got a green on the main line, which is correct. We'll just leave it at that for now. No train on the branch line.
We pass this sensor, Keith, this one.
Absolutely right. So he passes the sensor here, and then
Signal's gone red.
signal's gone red, which stops trains behind, which is right because the junction is now occupied. Now at this stage, this train will proceed through.
So
And we'll hit this sensor here, and hopefully
it's still red, which is right, but you should be able to get another train.
hasn't gone to 0, so that might be this one.
That hasn't done. No. What's this one done? The aspect's gone to 0.
That one has.
That aspect has gone to
Is that
0.
number 1?
That is aspect 3.
Right, let me make this do 3. Oh, that's interesting.
Which way does it daisy chain?
That's a very good question, isn't it? It may be the other way around. But I'd have thought if that has gone to 0, if that was the right daisy chain. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, if that's 3, No, this isn't right, is it? But
Take
we
two.
know I sent it this morning,
Yeah.
and it did. So let's just check this programming. Probably got it wrong, haven't I? So sense input. That is sense 1, is it?
That is sense.
No, that might be it. Let's just have a check on the.
I think that's sense 1.
Have a look at the light.
Well, it's which ones are going?
Let's just see the light. That's 1. Yeah, that is 1.
That is 1. Sense 1.
So sense input 1. 0. Glasses. Right. So sense node 41. So this is totally wrong.
Yeah.
So let's do this right now. So trig on short. You don't want that to do anything. So I'm just setting the chain send to nothing so it doesn't chain on, because all we want this one to do is set aspect 1 to state
Aspect
0.
1 to state 0, which then sets aspect
3.
3 to set state 0.
So
Because the main line is aspect 1, is that right?
yes.
And that's aspect 3. Is that the way around we've got them?
I think
Yes,
so.
I think it is.
So trig send, so I'm going to tell it to trigger send 1 to state 0. I think
this
what I
is
did, I
aspect
programmed
1,
the aspect
and
node
that's
by mistake.
aspect 3.
So trigger send 1 to state 0.
Okay. I'll just watch it, and if you want to...
Right, so now hopefully if I do this,
Do you want to trigger that now? Yes.
yes.
Yes. That's now gone to state
Good.
0.
So, as I said, this is the first time for us as well, so you will come across these things. We just come across one. You saw how simple that was to fix. So now, let's do this again. Oh, excuse me. It's almost lunchtime. So, the train comes up the main line, goes across here, and he gets a green.
And this goes to mode 1.
Okay, so that's good.
That's great. And they've got a green.
Yep. And then he proceeds through, goes across this one. Now, that's a red, but it should be a different state to
It's
0.
in state 2. So a train following will get the red. Even if he triggers that sensor,
Absolutely.
this will stay red
Yes.
until the train has cleared the section.
Yes. So we're now going to clear this junction. So he goes past here and clears it. And now that should go back to state
That's gone
0.
back to state 0.
Okay, so that's one of the transitions, if you like. Let's now transition on this one. So we're back to 0 because we've just reset it. The train comes up the branch line, and the branch line now shows a green.
Lovely.
And that is on state 3 sensing, which is right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And that is on state 3 sensing, which is right. And this one
Will
should now
also
have
be on-
moved from state 0.
Is that on state 3?
It is on state 1, which is right.
State 1.
And you'll notice that the little F is showing, which means it's now going to latch
Yeah.
or flag any train that comes up behind it. And then
Is this one next, Keith?
it is, you're right.
It come out of it past the signal, which will set
So the train
the
passes
one
the signal,
behind the signal behind him now will go to red, which it
now
has.
that shows a red behind.
Absolutely.
and this
right.
is
There we
still-
are. I'll just turn this round a bit so you can actually see it.
And this is still on flag, so that's waiting for another train. And then we clear the junction this way. And everything should now reset to state 0.
Yes, state 0.
So-
and that one is also hopefully state 0.
Now we're going to
with
get
a red.
complicated.
Yes.
So we're now going to have...
I've got the following key.
Okay. So I'm a train coming up the main line. I hit that one, and we now go green.
I'm
Now,
a train
should we
coming
trigger
up
it
the
now?
branch line, and I'm hoping that should have set this,
What we should have is a capital F on there now,
which we have.
which means it's remembered that train has passed there. But it won't
Well, yes,
check that flag until it goes back to state 0.
so he's come up to the red signal and stopped here.
Yep. So this train on the main line now passes, and that will give it a red behind.
Yeah.
That will stay at red,
Yes.
and now
And once he clears the section,
when the main line train clears the junction, it should now go back to state 0.
and now the branch
But-
line train,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I've got my green.
And that is because the F flag was set and state 0 branches to a green aspect if the flag is set. So let's now have a train coming up here.
So shall we clear this
Oh,
one
let's
out?
clear this one.
he
so this
goes
train-
through there.
Goes through here. That should now show a red.
Yes,
This one obviously stays on red. Shall we have a train coming up here?
we can do.
So here now a train is coming up the main line. So there he goes. And now
But because there's a train in the section at the moment from the branch line, he's staying red.
this is showing the capital F, which is good. So we know now that when the branch line train clears, the main line should now get a green.
It is. So that train now, which was held, can now carry on.
So this train, when I carry on, will go past this one. That should get a red.
Yep.
And now when this train passes the junction and clears it, everything should now go back to state 0.
Reds.
I think, people, that we have proved now that ESS was easy to program. We inadvertently showed you how easy it was to fault find if there is an issue. And we've shown you all the possible permutations at this junction.
And it's really easy to set up.
You can
These
take
can
this.
be packed away in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Ready for the next weekend.
Some people store them in signal boxes. Some people take them home. You can even leave them out because there are solar options. But that is ESS.